Secretary, how would you describe the current state of Veterans Affairs?
Well, I would say that we still have a lot of issues, a lot of problems that we have to address. Remember, we're talking about decades of problems that have accumulated over the years. I think we're making progress, but we have a lot more work to do, and we just have to step it up to do better for our veterans.
Where would you say are some of your biggest concerns and challenges at this point?
Well, I think it's all the way around. It's always about getting the right people in to make sure that they're there for the right reasons, serving our veterans. And we have amazing people who work in the VA, but we have way too many vacancies that we have to fill. And we still have to make sure that those that are deviating from their commitment to veterans are no longer welcome at the VA. So we have some work to do there, as well as modernizing our facilities and our technology to make sure veterans are getting the very best services possible.
Why are those jobs going unfulfilled? Notably, 4 top positions within the Department of Veterans Affairs. You were asked about this in your testimony yesterday. Senator Johnny Isakson, a Republican from Georgia, bringing that up. One thing that concerns him is these 4 positions that remain unfulfilled in the department. Why is that happening? Why can't you fill those roles?
Well, it concerns us too. Getting the right leadership in place is one of our most important tasks right now. Getting the right people to want to leave private sector or come in to serve in public service is a difficult challenge these days. We see what's happening in Washington. We know what it takes in terms of the amount of time and energy to do public service jobs, and we're looking for the right people. We're not just looking to fill these positions. We're looking for people who are going to come in and make a difference.
Another thing you were asked about yesterday, and we obviously need to ask you about it, is this situation where a scalpel was left in one of our veterans after years after a surgery took place. He was suffering from a lot of pain, and then an X-ray revealed that there was a scalpel left in him. How are you addressing this claim?
Well, that was a case from 2013, but one of the things that's clear is that when we make mistakes and we make veterans suffer, like in this case, we're going to come out and we're going to say that. And we're not only going to accept responsibility for it, but we're going to apologize for it, as I've done, and we're going to make sure that we make it right by the veteran and prevent this from happening again. The truth is that while this is a unexcusable case that should never happen, the overall across the VA, our patient safety statistics are better than what happens in private sector hospitals, but that doesn't mean that we aren't committed to making sure that this never happens again.
Fair enough. We'll see where that goes. Meanwhile, you're hearing all the politics on Capitol Hill right now, Secretary, and Republicans saying Democrats are holding the military hostage, not funding the government if there's not a deal on DACA, and what this means for the military. If I could just ask you to weigh in on the politics of the moment as we move forward and look at this deadline to fund the government by tomorrow night.
Well, it's important that the government continue to operate. When you look at the key functions that serve all Americans, people didn't send any of us here to Washington to shut the government down. So it's important that we work through this. What I'm particularly proud of when it comes to issues serving our veterans is that we've been able to do things in a bipartisan way. And I think we need both parties to focus on getting the job done and making sure that we continue to do why people sent us here to do in the first place here in Washington.